Hey guys, happy Wednesday. I'm inside today because there's some heavy duty landscaping going on outside, so I hope you can't hear it. However, this week I wanted to bring to you a happiness tip to get over the hump that was inspired by a book I'm reading right now. Funnily enough, I'm reading How to Win Friends and Gain and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Not because I just moved to Florida and I don't have any friends, just because it's been on my reading list for a while and it doesn't really look too interesting, but then I started it and it's actually a really good book. So anyway, I'm reading this book and one of the chapters in it is you can't win an argument. So my happiness tip for you is to recognize that you can't really win an argument. In an argument, you never really win because even if you get your point across and you're right, the other person who is wrong still feels slighted. They're kind of like, okay, well, now what? So it's not always beneficial to argue with somebody because even if you're right, that person's going to be upset that they were wrong, that you felt the need to prove them wrong. It's kind of like a blow to the ego. So, I was thinking and I was also listening to how he explained how you would avoid this. And nobody likes to be wrong. So if you know that you're right about something and somebody's arguing with you, you can say, like, listen, I'm oftentimes wrong. Let's look at the facts. Or you can just listen to them fully and say, I understand. And you can provide reflective listening without ever really agreeing with them necessarily. You can just kind of reflect back what they said to make sure that you understand their point of view so that they feel heard. Another thing you can do is tell that person up front, like, you may be right. You may be right about this. Oftentimes I'm wrong. Let's look at the facts. It's hard to come from a place of defense when you're looking at the facts. And then, the last thing I want to add to this is one of the most effective tools I teach with clients was inspired by the Gottman Ratio of 5 positive emotions to every 1 negative emotion in a relationship. Really kind of puts money in your relationship piggy bank, so to speak. So if you and your spouse argue a lot, you and your partner argue a lot, and you know that it seems like there's tension in the air and the conversation is getting a little more heated and it's going in the direction of an argument, to refrain from arguing, to de-escalate, to kind of take a step back. Well, in addition to taking a step back, which is also a good tip, sometimes you can just blow off some steam and come back, you can do the Gottman Ratio or take it a step further and do the emotional Band-Aid, which was developed by Dr. Amy Cogé, saying 6 nice things to each other. So however many you can, 5 at least is good though. To de-escalate or refrain from getting into an argument, just rapid fire, say 5 nice things about the person. So, thank you for always taking out the trash. You're a really good father. Your hair looks great today. I like how you always listen to me. Your sense of humor was on point. You threw an excellent party last weekend. Boom. Then your partner can do the same to you. And it can just clear the air. It can kind of allow you to take a deep breath and be like, okay, there's no reason to get defensive. There's no reason to get into an argument. We're on each other's team. So I know this got into a little bit more of a relationship tip. However, refraining from arguing in business relationships, in personal relationships, just in general, to know that oftentimes the argument isn't worth it. Almost 100% of the time, the argument's not worth it, and there's a way you can refrain from arguing by telling the person, I'm often wrong, you may be right, let's look at the facts, tell me what you want to say, help me understand. These are all great things you can do to make sure that it never gets to that point. So, in a nutshell, today's happiness tip is to refrain from arguing, because you can never win an argument. In the end, both parties lose. Thanks.